Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's another fantastic time to be a Dota fan as we have Dream League Season 23 underway. It's the first time you're seeing us here for North America, but we've got some other qualifiers already started. My name's Cryptic. I'm here with Z Quixotics, the man himself. What is up, dude?
Hey Ricky, I'm good. How about you? Are you ready for some Dota?
I am so excited. We have been doing a lot of other regions, but we haven't been able to cover a lot of NA, our home region. I'll be honest, it's a fun region to watch most of the time. Like, just because eventually when you get towards the end of the bracket, the games get really, really, really good. But I think for any reason, I am excited to see some of these new stacks that came in through these open qualifiers, just to kind of see how they compare against the Titans that are, Shopify and Nouns.
How could you exclude Fart Studios from that? A
And Fart
beloved NA
Studios, the other
team.
Titan, of course, the third Titan, Fart Studios.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Should see some fun stuff. We're supposedly running down toward the end of the patch, right? So we'll see what teams have cooked up here. And maybe it's the last time we see it. Some Terrorblade support, maybe this could be the last time for any of these teams to run it. Anything else
Or maybe it
you're
gets
thinking
better.
of? Maybe we'll see. Oh yeah, maybe they're like, oh, this is cooler.
I'm gonna preemptively dub these qualifiers the Crown Fall qualifiers, since my gut feeling is that it is coming this week.
That's
And if
bold.
it's not, I'll just be sad because I essentially made the prediction like 3 months ago that it would be March 21st, and if it isn't correct, I'm gonna look so stupid.
Who can truly predict the patches?
Yeah,
Who
that's
really knows besides a whole bunch of people over at Valve? But who really could know?
Dude, I just want it so bad. It's gonna be so fun. I have high hopes. A lot of times I can be a pessimist about things, but I am very optimistic about this one. I don't think Valve has been lying to us when they said they've been in the kitchen cooking things up. So I feel like we're gonna get some good stuff in this patch. But yeah, whether or not it's this week, we'll have to see. Whether or not it's today, we'll have to see. I mean, who knows? But I think for now, we've got some exciting Dota getting ready to begin. Of course, Shopify, the big ticket team here, one that I think a lot of people are expecting to make it all the way to the grand finals, potentially even win. They're going up against their opponents, the Correntada. Now, a kind of a combination of North and South America in this stack, which is nice. Like, we see this a lot. Like NA teams, I think in the past would always kind of pull like one or two South American players when the DPC was the thing because of like region limits, right? But um, ever since that kind of disappeared, we're seeing a lot of these hybrid teams.
Yeah, there's great players from all regions, right? And like you said, it already happened in the DPC. Many of the players are familiar with each other, so make a team, see how it goes. Always fun to see like what you get. It's like a little bit of a mixed bag sometimes when you're like bringing different players together and you have like a new team dynamic. It's like, oh, what are we? Are we a cheesing team? Are we all gonna like pick last pick cheeses, or maybe we're like very early tempo? So you never know. It's fun for us to see. Um, maybe the slight challenge for like Shopify now is the more established teams. I'm sure they have a lot of confidence that they're the big players, but you always got a slight concern is like you don't know what you're coming into sometimes with these newly formed teams. So they gotta at least stay on their toes a little bit, make sure they get the wins if they want to keep going forward.
Yeah, it's just got to not be cocky. They just got to play their
Hmm.
Dota, right? They just got to play their game. And I think that's the big thing when you have like a difference in skill on teams. It's like the most important thing is to just try to dictate the game by playing it your way instead of allowing the enemy team to kind of throw you off a little bit and maybe forcing you into some sort of weird Dota. So I think Shopify, that's probably what we're going to see. They're not going to deviate much, I would guess, from the meta picks here and just kind of play what they're comfortable with. Um, we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll be surprised. I would always like to be surprised. If we see a Ricky pick, I'm always excited, but um, not likely. I'll be honest.
Yeah, unlikely. I imagine Shopify will go like very strong laning picks. They've been known as a
Mhm.
strong laning team, and sometimes that's just the easiest way to play against like teams you're not familiar with, and you think you're better than. It's like just crush them in the laning stage. They don't get to play Dota, and then just roll it over from there. We see that a lot from some of the big teams in these kind of qualifiers. So that might be what they go for. There's already plenty of strong laners in the established meta picks. I think Ricky is not one of them, unfortunately for you. But maybe next patch, Ricky support back, sleeping dart.
Dude, I just like you need to commit to one or the other. I don't care which one it is, you know? It's like either make him a support or make him a core. Like one or the other. We got to get rid of this hybrid. Like his stats are way too weak for him to be a hybrid hero, right? Like to be one or the other, you know? And his he has some of the best base stats in the game, you know, which is really surprising, right? He's got great base stats, but then they just stay that way for 20 levels and you're like,
These
something
are all the
feels
stats
weird.
you get.
All these other heroes have gotten a lot stronger, and I'm roughly the same.
Yeah, I
It's
think
so weird.
yeah, it's cool to have hybrid heroes. I like it a lot, all the flex
I
value.
agree.
But Ricky is a very tricky one because of that permanent invis component as well. So
Yeah.
it feels difficult to allow him to be both a support or a core, and either way could force you like endless sentries. You might be being killed all the time. Like, what do you know? So I can kind of understand wanting to keep him in one side or the other. At the same time, I don't know. I'm here for the chaos of Dota sometimes. So if they just let it be crazy, I'm kind of here for that.
Yeah, there's like something that I really like about like hybrid heroes and obviously like almost every new hero that we've gotten since say like Underlord has been relatively hybrid. Uh if
It's
you think
true,
about it,
yeah.
right? Like Monkey King, Pango, Muerta, Hoodwink, I guess Grimstroke not so much, but there was a time when he was getting played in mid because of his ult. So it's like we've had a lot of hybrid heroes, and I feel like every hero that's coming out from this point on is probably a hybrid hero, and
hmm
I just want them to just go back to this to like every once in a while just release a hero and you're like, it's played like this. This is what it does. You know, it's like you look at the old school hero designs and you're like, Juggernaut, it's a carry. Like you're not running around like throwing healing wards on allies and that's it, you know.
I've seen
It's
people
like
try, Ricky.
I've
I've
seen
seen
people
people
try.
try.
And I'm okay with people experimenting. I am. But I think Ricky is one of those heroes where you're just like, yeah, it needs to be one or the other. I think it kind of does. It's just its design is too imbalanced if you tried to buff both aspects of it, I think. And that
hmm
is like the problem with that hero's design in general, I think.
I mean, that's a good point. That I just pulled up a list of like the heroes that came out. You're right that a lot of them flexed at some point. Maybe now they're a little bit more into like one given role, but at some point people were trying all of them for all sorts of different things. And I feel like some of them were definitely meant for one role. Like Valve was like, "Oh,
Muerta.
Muerta will surely be a carry, right?" But isn't that? It's kind of like when like art, like you put it out there, and there's what the artist imagined, but then it's like everyone who appreciates, like, no, we get to like determine what it like really is. It's like both elements there. Valve's putting something else, like, please, it's a support, please, and we all go, hmm. But what if we last hit with this hero and buy core items, and then it works, right? So
Oh
I
my god.
I'm curious. I'd love to hear from Valve, like how many of these recent heroes they're like, yeah, it was only supposed to be one role. What did you guys do to it, you know? And then once we start doing it, they just have to like, I guess this is it, guys. Buff it, like move it that way.
They put out Muerta and they're just like, okay, this hero is a carry. And then people start playing into support and they're like, fine, we're just going to put Revenant's Brooch in the game so anyone can be Muerta because we're tired of this. Like, this hero was supposed to be a niche carry pick and now it's a support. Why is this happening? But I mean, it's fine. I think Huerta's design is honestly one of my favorite in the game, and I will give them credit for that. As much as we're like kind of clowning around, I think all of the hero designs that have come out over the last several years have been top tier. I've been S tier, honestly. Like Pango and Mars are some of the coolest heroes of all time. Same with Muerta.
hmm
It's like it's pretty unbelievable how good these heroes are, which gives me hope for Ringmaster and anyone who's like, oh, it's just gonna be Puppet Master. You're wrong. There's absolutely no way that Valve would copy Puppet Master. You're cracked. You think the company that is this proud and this powerful is just gonna rip a design? Absolutely not. It's going to be better, Puppet Master. Mark my word.
I can't wait to play support Puppet Master.
I
Whatever
hate
he's
you.
supposed to be, I can't wait to play support Puppet Master.
No, I'm excited. Ringmaster should be fun. I mean, I don't know. My theory is it'll be an int hero, just because there is still a lot less int compared to like all the other attributes, right? Like it is still, I think, the lowest by 1 or 2. I think there's more universal strength and agi heroes. So if they are trying to balance it out, then maybe it'll be int, which is why we got Muerta, I think. But I think overall it'll be close.
Yeah, I think we're 1 short on intelligence. So
Is
you're
that
right.
it? We're only 1, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but universal is 1 ahead of the other 2. So
Yeah. Okay, that
you
makes
could
sense.
argue you need 2 intelligence heroes, 1 strength, 1 agility hero.
They're all coming out this year.
Oh yeah,
4 of
dude,
them.
all in
4
Crownfall,
heroes.
dude. Crazy. Ringmaster is actually
Crownfall?
4 different heroes.
Dude, imagine we get a hero that can attribute swap. That's
I've
actually
always
a
wanted
pretty
something like
neat
that.
mechanic. I've thought about it a long time ago, because I feel
Viper.
like there was some. Yeah, I mean, Viper has the obviously like become universal at 25, but imagine there's like a hero that like its ultimate unlocks a different attribute or something, and you can like toggle between your attributes, similar to like
Mhm.
Brewmaster toggles, but they have like bonuses. That would be interesting. Cool design. Probably never happening, but you know, Suns fan, if you're listening, you could make it happen. I'm sure in some sort of game.
I've always wanted I feel like this would be impossible to balance and it'll never happen, but I would love more chaotic RNG in the game. You know, we used to
Oh
have
God.
we have some good RNG heroes, but lately there's less so of that. So to your idea of the different attributes, I'd love a hero that has a random timer on it, and when that timer hits, they just switch to like another attribute, different skills, stuff like that. And you just gotta go with it. You're like in the middle of a team fight, suddenly swaps. You got different skills. The
You're a
chaos,
psychopath.
man. I would
You're a
love it. It'd be so cool.
You're actual, yeah, you're just like pure chaos.
Pure chaos. Let's do it. I liked the Ricky support. I like the Monkey King sniping couriers, the Terrorblade support. I live for the chaos, man.
Dude, it's like over the last like 6 years, they have been systematically removing like chaotic RNG from the game. Like you just look at Chaos Knight specifically, the embodiment of chaos in Dota, and every single one of his abilities have been like kind of pulled in from the extremes. They've been slowly like, okay, no more of these like random 4-second stuns but 0 damage level 1. No more of these like getting an extra illusion that wins a team fight shenanigans. Like, oh
Bring
man.
it back.
Oh
Bring it
gosh.
back.
It'd be so much fun. I know.
That'd
I'm
be great.
excited. I am just like I'm always super like I guess anxious is not the word. It's like excited anxious. What is the word for that?
I think just excited or looking
Just
forward
excited?
to giddy.
Yeah. Giddy. That's the word. I like I couldn't remember what that word was. Thank you. Yeah. I'm always giddy around patch time. And maybe it's like not coming out for a while, but maybe it is, you know? So I'm gonna be really excited when that patch drops.
Can't wait for fishing to get added.
Dude, can we talk about fishing potential in Dota again? Because I think this is where Dota has the most potential to gain more players, right? If you
I think
introduce
so.
fishing, right?
Yeah, let me sell you on it. So like think of fishing in any other video game. It always makes the game better, except for fishing games. No one likes fishing games, but like games that don't have fishing, that add fishing, that's the way to go. Pudge, favorite hero of the people, he's like a fish. What am I gonna get? You don't know. Shovel, best neutral item that people love. It's like fishing. What are you gonna get? We'll have to continue that later because we got a draft now.
10 seconds remaining.
The great transition, Zach. I love it. Thank you so
5
much.
seconds remaining.
It's like fishing. You don't
Finally.
know. Suddenly, boom, something else.
Sometimes you just fish out a draft, you know? That's
Yeah.
that would have been a sweet transition right there. You can put that one in your back pocket.
I'm not prepared for it yet.
All right. Shopify
10
versus La
seconds
Correntada.
remaining.
We finally have ourselves a draft. We were a little bit slow off to the start here with
Dire team
some
back.
delays with the
Shopify
players, but
Rebellion's
it's
turn to
okay.
ban.
Nonetheless, we are into game number 1. So, Timbersaw, Kunkka, Dragon Knight. We're seeing a lot of the
10
similar
seconds
bans.
remaining.
I'm going to be shocked if La Correntada don't remove the Chen.
5
I'm
seconds
looking
remaining.
at La Correntada
Dire
and
team
I'm trying to
back.
remember, but I don't know if they actually have a Chen player on this roster.
10 seconds
I'm not sure
remaining.
either, but Kitrek is definitely a Chen player, and Shopify have first pick.
5
So
seconds
unless you
remaining.
have
Dire team
a
back.
plan for it, I'm pretty sure you're removing it here. Last man. Hope they're removing it. Otherwise, they've got to have a Chen plan, which we've seen some teams try.
10
I'm
seconds
pretty sure
remaining.
we've seen all those teams lose, but you know, maybe this is
5
it.
seconds
I
remaining.
I don't think I would
Shopify
want to play against
Rebellions,
Shopify.
turn to
Okay, they
ban.
do want to play into the Chen. Let's see if it comes out here. Because I feel like we were talking about
10
these teams
seconds
can just
remaining.
have a really strong laning stage and try to run
Shopify
you down.
Rebellions, turn
That's
to
What
the
hero
Batrider
fits
ban
that but
for it.
Chen this meta?
Yeah.
I mean, there he is.
It's like you already have no Shadow Demon, you have no Mars to deal with, and the last like kind of one of the last like really annoying support heroes that you can deal with is the Batrider, because he can just run down a Chen if you
10
don't have like the
seconds
army of
remaining.
creeps, especially in the earlier levels. Like the Batrider just follows the Chen
5
around and can
seconds
actually
remaining.
maybe slow down his kind of momentum or find kills. But yeah, now there's not a lot that you can do to pressure the Chen here. There's not a lot of fours that can do the damage that you need.
Yeah, so my concern here is that, I mean, we saw it coming, right? And I feel like if you want to plan for that, like, oh, if we leave the Chen in, we know they're absolutely going to pick it. That's fine with me if you have like a plan for it. We're already into draft time, which is a little concerning to me because that's
Shopify
like, we did
Rebellions,
not have a
turn
plan for the
Crystal
Chen.
Maiden.
Okay, Crystal Maiden, I'm okay with that response. Frostbite's
Yeah.
pretty good at killing creeps, and she's just a good hero overall. But I'm still a little concerned that it took some draft time to decide like that was going to be our response to the Chen, which had an extremely high probability of being picked first if we don't ban
10
it.
seconds remaining.
Shopify Rebellions, turn to ban.
I'm really curious like where they go with this, because a lot of times we see Chen drafts kind of just run over the enemy team, right? Like in pretty
Dire
dang
team
quickly. It does not usually take them a lot of time to kind of like get their draft rolling. And Shopify, I would imagine, are probably going to be picking relatively high tempo heroes. One thing that's like still available that I think they've got their eyes set on at the moment is something like a Centaur
10
for the
seconds
offlane. It
remaining.
is still one of the strongest offlane heroes currently in the draft.
5 seconds remaining.
As we're seeing like the Tide, the Mars, the DK, Timbersaw, all of these heroes are banned. Also, one thing I didn't even bring to attention, they first phase banned the Huskar.
That's true. I was just taking a look at that.
Shopify
I mean, sometimes you
Rebellions,
got to
turn
respect
to
ban
ban.
some hero specialists, right?
They actually flex that, if I'm not mistaken. They have 2 players that play Huskar. So it's typically in their mid lane, but I'm pretty sure that they can flex it. So
Mhm.
it's an interesting first phase ban, but it does, potentially
seconds
force
remaining.
Lord Cornentada to ban some extra heroes, and that leaves the Chen in. So
5
kind of
seconds
an
remaining.
interesting adjustment. We get the Centaur like we were expecting from La Cornentada. Now, there's not a lot of your standard ban or standard counters to the Centaur still in the pool. The Sven, the Lifestealer, already removed. Your Mars, not available. Neither is the Timbersaw. So it's a pretty cool pick at the moment. I'm curious where they go with this. A standard Rubik. Nothing too extraordinary there. We could see them go for an early Pango in the mid lane, but we'll have to see. I mean, you have Puck
I
as
wonder if-
well. You have Puck and Pango still
10
available.
seconds remaining.
I wonder if this is going to set up for an
5
Enigma pick
seconds
later on, if they
remaining.
want to go like crazy tempo.
Ooh, that's cool.
See what gets picked here.
Dire team pick.
I actually
But
really
Rubik
like that
kind of
idea.
preemptively protects it. Looks like you're gonna grab Tiny, which you've already grabbed Rubik, so extremely unlikely this is a support Tiny, though we've seen some teams do like the mid Rubiks, the,
Whisper.
the offlane Dagon Rubiks, right? So I suppose that's a potential, but very likely just a mid,
10
maybe
seconds
offlane Tiny.
remaining.
I don't think we've seen a carry Tiny in ages, so I'd be very
5
surprised to
seconds
see that.
remaining.
Yeah,
It's really not good. I've like tried so hard to like force a carry Tiny to be relatively popular, but or not popular, but like viable, and it's just so bad. You actually need like 5,000 gold of farming items, and then you start farming. It's like, which like you're like, oh Ricky, that's not that many, but I mean like that's 5,000 gold on top of like things like treads, your Quelling Blade, like your already like basic starting items. So it's by the time you come online and start doing anything, you're like 20 minutes into the game and you're like, I'm farming now.
Sven's got it just at like level 3. It's like,
Yeah.
I just come with it.
Yeah.
That's why we see him banned out.
I really like the Tiny pick though, because I was just mentioning the Puck and the Pango, both available in the pool. We're gonna see the Pango now, and I think Tiny does honestly pretty good into both of those matchups. I think much better for Pango than it is for Puck at least. So we'll see the Pango come out. But yeah, I actually really like the Enigma pick that you were talking about. I think it's getting
10 seconds.
looking better and better as this draft develops, because the Rubik pick
5
blocks it
seconds
unless you go for
remaining.
something like a Vengeful Spirit. You're gonna have almost no counter to this black hole, besides Pango just like rolling thunder and jumping into the black hole.
Rebellions turn
Yeah, okay. They grab techies. This locks in the Centaur as the off lane. I think you could pick a hero like Luna here, who will lane pretty well into the Centaur. A lot of tempo with the Chen. She also jungles really early, so that frees up Chen to just go play on other parts of the map. And currently, these are all pretty
10
strong
seconds
laning early
remaining.
game heroes. I think Shopify can just
Shopify
speed run this
Rebellions
game.
turn
Monkey.
Oh, going for Monkey King. Okay, that also will dominate the lane. It's a little slower than the Luna, but it should win its lane maybe a little harder than the Luna against this Centaur.
I agree. I
10
think it's a
seconds
little
remaining.
bit sketchy against the techie sometime. You can mischief
Dire
dodge
team
the sticky bomb, which is nice. Like it's a pretty easy thing to consistently dodge. But Centaur just pump fake stomp constantly, and it's actually really hard to mischief dodge the rest of his kit. So
That's true.
yes, you can mischief dodge techies. If you're good at it and you're
10
playing on low
seconds
ping,
remaining.
it's not too difficult, which RTZ, I think, qualifies as
5
both of those,
seconds
right? Being
remaining.
relatively
I'd
good at
say
Dota.
so.
Yeah. Okay,
Despite what
good.
you might read out there
Dire
on
team
Reddit,
back.
I'd say it's still a pretty good carry. He'll be able to mischief dodge some of it at least. Plus, he's got a Chen, so like even with those
Shopify
doubts in mind, I mean
Rebellions
Chen's
turn
really
to
strong,
battle.
right? Maybe the first level you get through, but like once you pick up some creeps, get levels in penitence, like that's another scary thing. Jingu stacks are gonna come online real fast with that extra attack speed from penitence. So
Yeah.
they're gonna have to be careful of that. They do have the last pick carry for
10 seconds
La
remaining.
Corentada, so I'm curious what Shopify is gonna pick as their
5
relatively
seconds
neutral
remaining.
off laner, because you don't know what you're going to get countered with, and it's Crystal Maiden 5, so you know it's already, it's pretty strong support there. So if they pick another strong carry, it could be pretty tough. Tiny technically could flex to the off lane if they want to pick something versus the Pango, but it's pretty hard to shut down a Pango. It's the strength of the hero, so I feel like sitting Tiny in the mid lane you're fine with already. Just grab a solid off laner who will round out your lineup, which I guess Tiny will bring the initiation, but it wouldn't hurt to have a
Shopify
little bit more
Rebellions
maybe,
turn
especially
to
because
pick.
I feel like Chen and Rubik
Dire
just want to sit in the
team
back, a click down, like cast their spell. Whoa, OD, okay, never mind. We're going Tiny off lane, shut down that Pango in the mid lane.
This is a hero that I feel like we only really see Shopify playing. Like this is not a hero that gets picked often at all, and it's almost always Yopaj
10
that has grabbed
seconds
it. Like if we were to look at recent pro games with an OD, I feel like Yopaj
5
has probably
seconds
played half of
remaining.
them. This is a pretty interesting pick because it is obviously very annoying for the Pango. I don't think it necessarily ruins the Pango lane because Pango just swashbuckle clears the lane and doesn't really care all that much. I'm mostly just curious how Yopaj wants to skill the OD, because I think a lot of people kind of like max the Astral from the mid lane. From carry, you're usually maxing the Q. You could honestly move this to a carry and put Monkey King mid into the Pango as well. So they actually have a lot of flex between these.
That's true. We've seen some carry ODs in the past. This is a pretty flexible core lineup, I suppose. These are all strong laners, though. So
Choose your hero.
there's the Luna that I thought Shopify might grab, but it works pretty well with Lauren Corentada as well. The Crystal Maiden and the Luna, pretty strong.
Yeah, it's just a straightforward hero. It will be Yopaj on the mid OD, so nothing too cheeky, but yeah, I think their draft like makes sense. I think they have like the kind of the tempo that they're looking for. Like Monkey King should have a pretty dominant lane. OD should have a pretty dominant lane. Tiny's going to struggle a little bit, which does delay the blink timing on the Tiny, which I kind of thought that's what they were playing around. Is like Chen's going to have his army, Tiny's going to have a blink, and they just start roaming lane to lane. But maybe they're going to slow that down a little bit. Maybe wait for Yopaj to get a couple items.
Yeah. Well, so Sven and Lifestealer have already been banned and obviously not in this game, but there have been some past drafts where, as we close down to the end, it looks like doesn't OD do well versus these melee mids that we've been seeing a lot, and Astral's really good versus like Sven and Lifestealer who want to get stuff done in their timing, and you just Astral saves someone. So I've been really looking forward to seeing some OD because teams have not seemed to like it. I'm like, this is not the game I was imagining I would see an OD, but I'm still down to see what it can do. It is usually a lane dominator. I know Pango, he's got his ways, but I think he should suffer. I mean, this is Yopaj as well. Yopaj, very good laner.
Yeah. Well, it's game number 1. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Good timing. It is Shopify in their opening series against La Correntada. And, both of these teams fighting to stay in the upper brackets. We'll have to see, if La Correntada can maybe upset one of the tournament favorites, of course. But draft-wise, I do like what both teams have come up with. I feel like Techie Centaur is always such a strong lane. I feel like Pango is a reliable hero. Same with Luna. So it's like there's a lot of things they have going for them. But it's Shopify, right? This team is just typically one of the highest skill teams out there. And look at the double sentry block on the bottom side of the map here to slow down the Chen.
Crazy
so they've actually
thing
gone
is he's
down
just gonna
here
get
and, yeah.
He's just gonna get
30
penitence and
seconds
right
to
click.
It's like, yeah,
That's
whatever.
the strength of the hero. Yeah, but I mean, this is a good play to make versus a Chen. I don't think he'll do it because it's risky, but you can actually get both of these sentries with one sentry of your own, but one sentry does not cover the entire box, so I'm pretty sure if he wants to unblock these, he'll commit 2 to the side. Ooh, use the Observer as well to block this camp, but this was spotted by Shopify's Observer, so they're putting a lot of emphasis on trying to slow down this Chen because they know it's such a scary hero. You kind of have to do this sort of thing, but Kitrak's ready. He's already got 2 sentries. We'll see where he ends up deciding to play. Wow, they committed Nether Observer over here too. They don't even want a mid ward.
I think the idea is to keep tabs on the Chen mostly, right? I think that's what they're like. A lot of teams are always worried about is like, oh, will we find the Chen? He immediately gets the D ward on his small camp. So, yep, 1 of 4 camps unblocked, and he will use the second one to block the hard camp. So, Kitrak gonna be starving for creeps a little bit here bottom, but as you said, eventually you get like levels and penitence. It's an interesting choice here, just taking the melee creep and just using it to click and harass.
Yeah, I mean, this used to be a little bit of a problem because you don't get golden XP, but now you do.
Yeah.
So it's actually not as painful to just use it on the creeps in lane anymore, and you don't. What?
You get the golden XP when it dies now?
I don't play enough Chen to be 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure that was one of the big buffs that got him into the meta, is that when he uses Holy Persuasion, he gets the golden XP.
Oh,
I gotta read it again just to double check now.
Yeah, I mean,
we have probably at least 2 Chen players in chat. Maybe anyone?
Maybe
anyone
3.
want to confirm that?
Can I get 3?
I'll double check it.
I mean, I'm sure you're probably right. It's like Chen is a hero I've played so few times, it's embarrassing. So, oh, dude, he's got the Kobold, but top lane, we're gonna see Henry give up first blood here to Saberlight's Tiny. They play that level 2 timing, they get themselves a kill. Crystal Maiden, obviously very strong in lane, but when you're up against an Avalanche, a Fade Bolt, a Telekinesis, she's not gonna have a good time.
Oh, looks like it's just gold, no XP.
Okay. I mean, still, that's honestly pretty worth it. In bottom lane, we're going to see the techies finally go down here. That's the level 2 again from the Chen. You talked about the aggression that Penitence brings, right? Getting more auto attacks from the Monkey King. He doesn't even have Jingu, but this hero has a lot of damage. like just generally.
Yeah, especially if you get on top of the techies. His strength is being a long range hero. So when you're actually just on top hitting, like you're in a pretty good spot, especially when you get that penitence buff. And
So this mid lane of Pango versus OD, it's very even at the moment. I'm not that surprised. OD not a hero that typically builds bottle, right? You want to build just your null tallies, get to your treads and Witchblade as soon as possible. He's going to be relying on Arcane Orb to kind of refill his mana constantly. So I'm curious like how well he's going to be able to play this lane, because this is just like Pango plays the same way almost every lane.
Yeah, I feel like as OD gets more levels and can spam out this stuff more, it looks like he's committing to leveling Astral, so that time's going to go up. You're going to be able to get more denies, or at least make Pango miss CS. Bottom lane looks like Arteezy maybe in a little bit of trouble, being run down here. Sticky bomb.
Speed. Oh. Okay, yeah.
Flash range increase.
That's a double edge. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a nice kill in the bottom lane. It looks like he Boundless Striked for the Jingu stack, which is one of those moments where it's like, you know, maybe he thought he would like had to Boundless Strike to get away, and they were contesting the Lotus. So yeah, he even committed the Lotus onto himself. So maybe committing Boundless Strike to secure the Lotus ends up backfiring a little bit.
Built an Orb of Corrosions, definitely looking to play aggressive with that Penitence. Oh, just jumps in. Let's see if he's gonna regret
Centaur
that.
is like, hello. I think this is actually correct. I think he wants to play to right click in this lane.
I think so too. Oops, Mischief loses the creep aggro. Sends him under tower.
Tornado! Dude, that spell is so good. It's actually just unbelievably strong. It's much more balanced than it used to be, I'll give him that. Thana in trouble, Blood Grenade is out, and the pen. Oh, what a dodge on the Centaur Stomp as well. So that's kind of what we expect from this lane, is just this hyper aggressive, like Chen throws out 1 or 2 spells from a creep maybe, and then just the immediate gap close from the Monkey King.
Yeah, and I think I guess it goes both ways. We did see the Monkey King die, where there's a lot of burst damage from Centaur and Techies, but I think it might be tough going forward. I feel like this starts to lean towards the Monkey King Chen.
Yeah, I would agree. Rises needs to be very careful in the top lane here. He has no mana, and there is about to be an avalanche into a Fade Bolt. Oh, Thylacor was not ready. Very lucky for the Luna there. I mean, you could see Saberlight counting down the timer, and I think Thylacor maybe was did not know that he was trying to make the play there. But Luna ends up dying to neutral creeps. She just got zapped, if I'm not mistaken. That was
man.
Yep.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. Had a salve on the way. This is so. I know neutral creeps got buffed and like they'll actually use their abilities, but I think a lot of people have not fully internalized when, like, the conditions of when they actually use abilities. And Monkey King down here, 3 heroes. Oh, no, he's fine. Leaping away.
Pango just washed in the mid lane. Penitence is out, and Yopaj, a very nice kill. Good rotation from the double supports, and this is just one of those things that, you know, a team that has been playing together, you know, for a little bit longer, you're going to see those rotations textbook every single time.
Yeah, the classic. Show up 6-minute rune, do a bunch of tower damage. Looks like they're not even opting for the tower damage this time, which I find a little interesting. I'm surprised they're not committing like the Chen creeps to get it, but maybe they actually want the lane to continue a little longer, because the Yopaj like, yeah, let me keep bullying him, guys. Don't take that tower. Make him stay here.
He's just like forcing a fight bottom, like just solo jumping on Henry and this Crystal Maiden. And then both supports show up, find a kill onto the Techies as the Centaur tries to zone off the Monkey King. Just really good, like, skirmishing already. A 3,000 gold advantage, as the top net worth is actually just Saberlight on an offlane Tiny, who we thought was going to be the one hero that might struggle. But Mr. Bing Bong himself is just too dang strong.
Yeah, I mean, if you...
Rises might just be
Rises?
dead. Yep. Dude, good rotation in through the portal, and now Techies, he came in for this. Level 4, another root here from the Trapper, an avalanche toss. Thana does get the disarm off, so a lot of damage, at least sent his way. I hear a Rolling Thunder. It's going to be alone, rotating on in. Nice blood grenade, does manage to catch on to do a good swashbuckle as well. Tiny, falling low, will get dunked on by the Techies, so a really solid turnaround here from La Correntada as they managed to find a little bit here in the top lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yopaj gonna head on bottom, knowing that mid's empty from the Pango. Yeah, he's gonna find monster here. Does not
Just not
have
level 6
stampede.
either. Yeah.
Tracks here
this
for good
is
measure.
Super freebie. We'll give it to Arteezy, or rather Arteezy will take the kill.
Radiant's middle tower is
And
under
he is
attack.
going first item, Radiance. I don't know if you've seen that.
Whoa, that's pretty. Okay, that's fun. So if you don't know the Wukong's command, and if you get Nagadums later, all the clones will get the Radiance aura. Do you see why he wanted this game? Or is this something like, do you think he would do this against another team? Or is this a close qualifiers kind of thing?
I think he's might be experimenting here. I don't know if this is like necessarily like a go-to build for him, but I think in this game he's probably feeling like, yeah, I could give it a shot. Maybe we'll see. His bottom lane, he's got a primal spring here for Monster. It should connect, dude. Great little boulder toss there from that mud golem as well. Actually slowed him up just a moment, just a second for him to close the gap. And top lane,
Rise
more fighting as Rises gets dunked on by that OD. And great turnaround here from Alone. He's got an amplified damage as well as a Rolling Thunder to play around, so he's actually fairly scary if he can close the gap onto Theliacor, but amplified damage expires. And Theliacor being level 6, he's got a spell steal in a moment. Dude, what a wraparound from Saberlight. Toss out. Mana boots. This is going to give him the mana he needs to go for the Rolling Thunder. Trying to just finish off the Rubik. A blood grenade here as well. And Theliacor pops a nice stick. Swashbuckle, though, should finish the job, and it does. So a nice kill here from Alone. Saberlight, he's got an avalanche, no toss, but it might be enough time for Yopaj to rotate in on this OD. He needs the Astral, the toss aggressively. That'll do it. One more Arcane Orb seals the deal. As Tiny getting chased down here, rises the rotation up to the top lane. Yopaj still severely out-levering these heroes. Level 9, 4 points in that Arcane Orb will make it very difficult for you to get away. And Monkey King now joining, as he's going to be able to chase down the Luna Boundless Strike. But the Stampede, is it enough? It might save Henry. It might save Rises. Nah, he's got him with the Mischief Chase, with that Primal Spring, and OD still chasing after one of the slowest heroes in the game, and will give it up.
All those slows from Crystal Maiden getting her out of there. I can't believe of all the heroes who lived, it's Crystal Maiden.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes, 4K lead. That's rough. Could have been rougher, actually. They find Lauren Correntada find a couple kills to you know, keep themselves afloat. It is looking pretty rough here, though.
Theliacor taking a little bit of damage. Nice swash. So he's got the steal on that. Give him a little bit of space to play around, or a little bit of mobility on the Rubik, which is always scary. But doesn't have vision of the Crystal Maiden. I think that's what he's looking for, is if he can snipe the Crystal Maiden. But instead, he's going to steal a new spell here from Thana, which should just be Sticky Bomb, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Which is a nice spell on Rubik. Sticky Bomb is already such a long-range spell, and Rubik with the passive. Right now it's only level 1, but throughout the game, it's pretty nice to have because you can actually just use it to scout. You can just throw it out so far into like wherever you're looking to fight, and if you hit something, you hit something. If not, you just get vision of that area for a little bit. It's pretty nice. The other great steal from Techies, Proximity Mines. Fantastic on Rubik. Just get your own vision without actually having to be Techies. I'm sure they'll be looking for that. Saberlight halfway to blink. Mech is almost done on the Chen. I mean, they have some good timings lining up here. Witchblade for the OD. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 4 of them start running together pretty soon. Arteezy going to need a bit more time to farm up the Radiance. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Not a build we usually see. I was wondering if anyone would theory craft this, and Monkey King's one of the heroes I think could do it, where Radiance can be disassembled. So you get the Radiance early game for the farming and the damage, and then you have a couple choices. The Sacred Relic could go into like Nullifier, for example. Well, I won't say it's unlikely to go Divine Rapier, but yeah, I think Nullifier or Revenant's Brooch, which does work on the Monkey King clones. There's like some weird mechanics with the mana of the individual clones, so sometimes they'll stop using the Revenant's Brooch, but they will use it to at least some degree. And then the Talisman can go into a Halberd or a Butterfly, or back into a second Radiance if you wanted to do that. But for a hero like Monkey King, I imagine a Butterfly. So I wasn't sure if anyone could make use of this potential build, but I think Monkey King is one of the few. So I am interested in seeing it. I think this game is already starting to look good for them, so I'm not sure if it'll be because the build is legit versus they're already winning 4 lanes and they're already 4K up at 11 minutes, but I hope we'll get to see it. I don't know if the game will go long enough, but I'm hoping.
I feel like that is, I mean, you're definitely right. Like, that is why you would go Radiance on this hero. We've seen a few different players. I mean, specifically, I think the most common is Alchemists, who like always go Radiance early, and then it's always a disassemble. But yeah, the Revenant's Brooch has been a pretty strong item on Monkey King, so I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, after you have the Radiance, you're gonna look for like a BKB, and then, you know, maybe another item, and then you go ahead and go for your disassemble into like, you know, Butterfly Revenant's Brooch or Revenant's Brooch Butterfly.
Theolacore actually did manage to steal Proximity Mines, by the way.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Smoke out, but it does get scouted here by a deep ward, so they should know that this is coming. And Kitrak has his army set right here on the high ground, and some pretty good ones to work with. Centaur Conqueror into a Wukong's command could be very scary.
Yeah, this is actually sick. If someone walks up that ramp, they're dead. I don't think you want a Crystal Maiden, though. You want one of the bigger cores.
Oh, they scan. It does connect, so they know they're coming from the other side, and Theolacore is just busy placing mines here to try and find an opening. There's going to be the Rolling Thunder initiation, though. That's going to pop a lot of them. The Swashbuckle, but a save from Yopaj, and a 2-shot from them on the OD. Takes down the Crystal Maiden. Theolacore, he's got to clear the mines, but there's one left. A nice trade, at least from Thana. He'll find it. 1 kill for his troubles, but...
You know Theolacore was laughing. He was baiting himself in those mines, but unfortunately Pango Roll gonna protect him as he goes through. Rises, not protected. Oh, he is protected. He's got that Stampede. Unfortunately, this means every Stampede we've seen, I think, has been on the defensive side. Can't use any of it aggressively. But at least you're gonna keep your carry alive. Try to farm up with that Mask of Madness. Try to catch up, but space is gonna start shrinking here, as the Chen mech is online, and they're just going to start working down these towers.
I feel like we've seen that a lot with Centaur Stampedes in the early game. Like, very few of them I've seen used offensively. They're almost always like, oh, get your team out of danger, right? That's fighting on the opposite side of the map. Theolacore does scout alone here. He's got Shield Crash. Kitrak just trying to farm the creeps, and alone... He's not really under any danger from these two. I mean, you could play like a fun Hurricane here. Oh, wait, there's a third. OD is here. Okay, he's fine. Swashbuckles away. But your mid tower in a little bit of danger. But Monkey King running away here from the Centaur. Does Primal Spring up, or I guess Tree Dance up to the high ground. He actually dodged out perfectly with the Mischief there.
Very nice. The Blink on Tiny is online.
Oh boy, Yopaj, he's found a target. Crystal Maiden with a freezing field instantly canceled from a nice Hurricane. And Thana, he drops the mines, but it's gonna be a double kill for Yopaj. This Witchblade is already doing so much damage. And you can see just how strong this hero is early, but Monkey King on the top side, Arteezy, he's a little bit out of position. He's having a little bit too much fun. He's playing his own game topside, but they do bring in the numbers. They commit the Stampede, and they will find themselves the Monkey King.
Yeah, one downside to the Sacred Relic build is that usually at this point, you'd have some other item, right? He's sitting on 2,500 gold, so maybe caught off guard there, maybe forgetting he's not quite as tanky or strong as he usually would be with a different build. But they're going to need a lot more kills like that. I mean, it's great to find the Monkey King, Luna is kind of keeping up in last hits, but net worth wise, firmly in the hands of Shopify. So they're gonna need to keep finding kills to catch up and make space.
Reveal. Blink, reveal, Saberlight finds the techies and makes that damage. Okay.
That techies went 100-0 real fast.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Precious bounty.
Radiant structures are
Playing their own
fortified.
disappearing act here. Yeah, I think one of those things like you're pointing out, like he's sitting on 3,000 gold on the Monkey King, so it's like realistically he has less net worth than every other hero on his team, right? Like if you take 3,000 away, he's at 3,700. So like Arteezy is yes, he is farmed, but his actual usable gold on his hero is borderline nothing right now, and it obviously gets a lot better once you get to the Radiance, but that is the downside of the Radiance build early. They managed to get on top of the chat. This dude is so tanky. He's got a mech, he's got 26, he's got a Hand of God keeping his team alive, but the Rolling Thunder finally coming out from alone. They're trying to get on top of Yopaj. That's the target. If you can finish him, he's getting super low. He's gonna try and deal what damage he can, but a nice kill. Centaur for the OD, a big win now for Block Cordentada, but you do lose the Pango as Arteezy's coming through. Saberlight with a nice blink, managed to pull back Henry as well. So we'll end up being 3 heroes for the OD.
Scanning.
Your sister has all the talent.
Honestly, a pretty dang good fight, I thought, but
Yeah, those were some pretty good connections on all their AoE abilities. It's about as good as they could have asked, but yeah, you see that's the disadvantage of being 8k behind. The Hand of God, mech, all that online, keeping so many people alive. At least they killed the Opage. I mean, that's probably one of the better kills they could get, but not good enough as we see the Chen army now destroying a tier 2. The Sacred Relic finished, and very quickly, thanks to that fight, almost to the Relic, or the Radiance as well. So 17-minute Radiance coming on here.
that's pretty good. That's a pretty good Radiance timing.
I wonder what the next item is, because you don't disassemble it right away.
It's just gotta be BKB, right? There's just
You
no
think
way
so?
you don't just build BKB. I feel like he probably should build BKB because Monkey King is not a tanky hero. Like he has decent like agi gain and okay strength gain, right? But you like all these agi heroes, they definitely need an item that gives them HP, right? They're not like Sven who just naturally has like 4k HP at level 18, right? He's gonna need to build something with strength. So you could build a Sange item like SNY or something, but
Ooh, the double disassemble. Sange, Yasha, then you to make a halberd.
Oh, Monkey King. Yeah, that's the HP that we're talking about. Definitely a little bit necessary. Saberlight now in trouble. A good bait here in the bottom lane by Monster, as they did not realize the whole team was behind him. So that was a really nice play from La Cordentada.
The Avalanche out first.
Saberlight God. They do manage to finish up the Roshan in the time, and Saberlight barely lives. He's not done, dude. He's gonna pop this Lotus, and he's like, someone's on there channeling. Who's it gonna be?
I'm surprised he's still going for it. I thought with the, like, they're channeling the Lotus, but that also means they've got a burst heal to work with now. So it looks like he was just using it to get away.
First tower gonna fall here for Shopify in the bottom lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Bottom tower has fallen.
I don't know if
Finding
you
some
want to
kills.
see this, but Arteezy has queued up the Midas.
That's exactly what I want to see, actually. You think, as a support player, I don't enjoy watching 2 farming items in a row on my carries? You're wrong.
Radiant's bottom tower
The
is
late
under
game
attack.
insurance policy, that's what it is.
Oh, you know
I mean,
it.
to be honest, he does need to like try and keep up with a Luna who's absolutely going to out farm you. Oh boy, Arteezy in the wrong neighborhood here. Thank God for that Glimmer Cape. Well, they're just gonna go high ground. They just know that they are super strong with Kitrak behind all of them. Yopaj, of course, with an Aegis. He's just gonna jump on over. They get a nice stomp out from Monster, and the Stampede headed with a good freezing field as well, but instantly canceled, and now Rolling Thunder in from alone. Can they actually find themselves these kills? The Wukong's command is out. The Radiance
Massive
burn.
Radiance.
It's zoning everybody out, and alone He's going to be the first one that dies. Saberlight with a great avalanche toss. I mean, that's really all the Monkey King is, right? I guess just a massive AoE radiance.
Kitrak's over here. His cores are
He
chasing
just
for
dropped and
kills.
killed
He's
his
like,
Quelling Blade. What is this?
he's just working on the buildings. He knows, like, yeah, there's my carry Monkey King, Radiance, Midas, chasing kills. I'll get the buildings. I know what's up. Just another day playing support in NA here.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
All right, from here, it's looking pretty rough. I mean, it sounds obvious to say, but look, Quarantata definitely had to hold that first Aegis power spike. If they survive that, the game starts going a little later. They maybe have room to catch up, but this is 13K at 20 minutes. Really rough here. Okay,
News for you.
hit me with it.
I don't know if they're gonna survive this. They're gonna jump on Eopage. Again, he does have the Aegis. Theodore with a nice telekinesis stops the Centaur Stomp, and Arteezy in trouble, but a great toss out from Saberlight. A big Boundless Strike does connect, does decent amount of damage, and Eopage coming back here potentially with the Vengeance, gets a blink out, looks to take down alone, gets the kill, looking for an Astral now, jumps up onto the high ground, dumping in the damage here for the Crystal Maiden. Astral holding her down once again. And they finish the job. They do. Monster gets caught from a telekinesis. Thelicor with a great read. The ultra kill into an almost rampage, but Thelicor will take it instead. So a very quick and convincing game one here from Shopify.
Shopify Rebellion victory.
That's a little bit what we thought we might see. Some lane domination on not as bad as I thought it would be. I really thought based on the draft they would win these lanes even harder. Maybe La Quarantada managing to find a couple kills, a little closer but still behind. I don't think you can let the Chen through, man.
Are you telling me that Chen might have been a problem this game?
I think I'm telling you, Chen might have been a problem that game.
You
committed. Look, you let the Chen through. You commit 3 sentries and an observer to block just about every single camp in that bottom half of the map, and he still wins his lane, right? That's so much. That's the first pick Chen. You have the counter picks. You have that massive commitment to block camps, and you can't beat the lane. Don't let it through. It's too much. It's too much.
The thing is like in fights, the Chen is just overpowering, right? Because like he gets such an early mech. Hand of God is amazing. The rest of his spells that he gets from his creeps or just the auras are always really valuable. And so you have this scenario of like, you either have to kill Chen at the start of the fight, or whoever you kill, you have to commit even more because of the amount of sustain that the Chen's bringing to the table. And because he pretty much never dies, he finishes the game literally 3rd on net worth, which is like absurd. Your 5 position is the 3rd highest net worth hero in the game. Like not even just like on his team, in the game. Like he was literally, or I guess 4th. He was just behind the Luna. So yeah, it's that's just the power of Chen, right? And if you give it to a good Chen player, which Kitrak obviously is, you're gonna have a bad time. So I think we'll probably see some adjustments in draft for game 2 as La Quarantada probably not gonna let it through, but they've also got a lot of other stuff that they have to address in this game, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a tall order. Knowing you're going to have to play Shopify Rebellion, you have to outlane them just to start. I think that's where you have to begin as La Quarantada. You can't really plan for a mid to late game. Well, I guess you could if you picked like a bunch of wave clear and you're like, we're going to creep cut, just blast out waves to go as late as possible. I guess that's a possibility, but I think it's pretty dangerous. I think you have to say like, we're going to go for as strong of a lane as possible, which I think their heroes are leaning towards that, but you got to take the Chen out of it, and then start there. Like step 1, Chen, step 2, maybe adjust the draft a little bit and keep working on that laning stage because you got to get through it. If you're falling this far behind, Shopify Rebellion is not going to let you get back in.
Yeah, definitely an overwhelming team, but we are only done with game number 1, so that means we're going to do a short break, everyone. We'll be back with game 2 between Shopify Rebellion and La Quarantada here on DreamLeague Season 23. Stay tuned, we'll see you in a bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed game number 1 as we're getting ready for game number 2 of Shopify versus La Correntada. My name is Cryptic. I'm here, of course, with Z Quixotics. We get to cover one of our favorite regions, of course, North America here for DreamLeague Season 23. And what is there really to say about game number 1? You know, Chen gets let through for Shopify. They're probably one of the best Chen teams out there. Didn't work out so well for La Correntada. They may have to revisit the draft here.
Ban it. Looking at the bans from game 1, they their first bans and then later banned Shadow Demon. I do think Shadow Demon's a really good hero. I think his primary purpose is to prevent the Dragonite pick, or like you have it as a response. So if you're gonna ban Dragonite, I think you can kind of let the Shadow Demon slip through, especially when you compare like between Chen and Shadow Demon, right? Like, I don't know. I'd like to see the Chen ban. Oh, they banned it this time for Shopify Rebellion. They're doing it for him.
10 seconds remaining.
I guess La Correntada have first pick, and they're like, we're not really even sure if this team can play it, but just in case, you know, just in case. Because it's like, I honestly, when I think of 5 players, I don't look at Henry and I'm like, yeah, that guy's a great Chen player. Like, I don't think he has a lot of experience playing Chen in the professional scene.
I would be surprised, but you know, maybe they're still taking this as a little bit of practice, which if they played, you know, going on, assuming, I'm sure they're assuming they're making their way up to DreamLeague, or at least going to have to play against Nouns in the later rounds, they're going to have to use a Chen ban. So you might as well ban it here, kind of get that practice in the draft of having to use one of your slots on that Chen.
Shopify Rebellion's turn to ban.
Besides that, I mean, nothing too surprising here, I'd say. These are all some of the more broken heroes in Dota right now. It's a very off-lane heavy meta. I say off-lane, many of them can go mid too, so maybe it's like a off-lane mid flex meta with a couple strong supports that get banned. So Kunko, we've seen him banned a lot too. Shadow Demon, Centaur. Trying to think who else.
I think the thing is like,
Rebellion's
you need a hero that you can group around in this meta early, and a lot of these like really tanky strength heroes have just so much early game impact and are incredibly easy to just lane. And I think that's what feels so overwhelming about them. And the thing is almost all of them scale. Like a lot of times, like you look at heroes in Dota, it's like they have like a power curve, and there's not really a curve for a lot of these heroes. It's just a straight line as the game continues. So yeah, they become pretty overwhelming. We're gonna see the Mars as the first ban here, or as the first pick for La Correntada. I like this because you have the option of like Mars, Doom, or Centaur. There's your support Terrorblade, baby. I mean, it could be. It could be support Terrorblade. I would say likely is. It's a good counter to the Mars. But yeah, when you see Mars, it kind of makes picking heroes like the Centaur and the Doom a little bit less fun. But Doom is still definitely an option for Shopify if they want to go for it, which we did see get banned out last game.
Yeah, Terrorblade. I mean, I know not everyone likes it, but appreciate it while we got it, guys. It's very likely to be changed later on. Yeah, some heroes get to keep their flex, but I suspect Terrorblade will not get to keep his. So let's enjoy it while we got it here.
10
I'm really hoping it's
remaining.
Terrorblade support.
I hope so too.
5 seconds remaining.
When we saw them having a little bit of fun last game, you know. So now that you got game 1 down, then you kind of know, like, if we lose this, so you just take it really seriously. Game 3, guys, we're okay, right? So, you know, maybe having a little bit of fun here, but it's also not even like that much fun. Like, I think experimentally, it's just good. We're assuming a patch soon, but maybe you can't assume that, right? And I think it is a big benefit to teams to feel comfortable picking a very early Terrorblade and knowing you can flex it between the 1 and the 4 and the 5. It's the same reason when Gyrocopter was a little stronger, we saw him being picked up really early, because it's like, is this carry Gyrocopter? Can't pick offlaners weak to that, but actually it could just be support Gyrocopter, right? Same with like Weaver, Monkey King's done it. So I think it's good to get the practice in on the Terrorblade, because anytime you have that flex value, especially between not just like core roles or like between support roles, it's core to support. It is so different if you waste picks countering this theoretical core hero, and then something's like, it's just support, you fools. Why are you countering my support position for, right? So they're going to keep that flex open. They're picking a Crystal Maiden here, very strong hero against the just a lot of the strong offlaners. So there's a couple carries already banned out, but you can grab many of the remaining carries. They're all quite strong. They'll pair nicely with Crystal Maiden here to get through the lane with Mars. I mean, Mars can still do stuff later on, but you at least won't be shut down in theory.
Dire team pick.
Yeah. Hoodwink. Okay, pretty straightforward. I know that's a Thana classic. I know he likes to play this hero quite a bit. So that's not super surprising to me. Does pair well with the Mars.
Yeah, hope there's no counter synergy later on with the arena breaking your trees. We'll have to be a little careful of that, but otherwise you're right. It's anyone can start. You bushwhack first or you spear first, and just like follow it with the other stun. You can get a lot of damage in. Maybe we'll see a Blightstone from the Hoodwink that buffs up Mars's damage pretty nicely. The God's Rebuke, and just his auto attacks are pretty solid, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Maybe it depends what the carry pick is.
Yeah. I think for the most part, like, you're not going to reveal this Terrorblade most likely until 24.
Ooh,
interesting. A Marcy. So I feel like this hero is mostly played as a support. I've seen it in the off lane and carry roles occasionally, but it does need, like, have to play around some specific item timings if you play it as a carry. Like, you have to go BKB, you have to get your Aghanim Scepter. And those are literally it. Like, you go, like, basically treads BKB. Because of how strong you are with your first Unleash. But I would imagine this is a support. I think this is probably going to be 5 Marcy, and they're going to pair it with a hero in the lane. We'll have to see. Maybe it's a really comfort pick for Henry. I'm not really sure. This is not a hero that I think we have seen picked at all lately.
No, it's not been terribly popular. I'd say the Chinese region favors Marcy the most right now. And like you said, it's often a support, but sometimes a flex to the core. Kind of that same value we were just talking about, like Terrorblade, Weaver, Gyrocopter, all those heroes having, but definitely on the lower end of popularity right now. The response is going to be Doom Lion, so it looks like they are committing to the Terrorblade carry, unless they're doing something wild here. But Crystal Maiden Lion support duo itself is pretty fine. I don't fully know. Oh, that could be cool. But otherwise, I'm not fully sure what they see in the Doom right now. But maybe it's really good versus Marcy and the lifesteal. I haven't seen Marcy that much, so I'm not that familiar with it.
I think it's mostly just the fact that Mars counters the Centaur a little bit too much, and so they go for Doom. Because Doom likes to build BKB, and, I mean, his ultimate is just always viable. So I think, for the most part, it's just a best of what's left type of scenario. They do go for the Zeus mid. Okay. I mean, this is probably just going to be Saberlight's Doom now. They have to ban a Storm Spirit here, right? Like, if you don't ban Storm Spirit, you're going to have a bad time, I think.
Against Shopify, that should definitely be at the top of your mind. Shopify's got the last pick. Yopaj has showed himself to be a very good player who can really take over the game. So Could be pretty scary here. I
Shopify
can
Rebellions,
see
turn
some
to
value to the
ban.
Zeus pick fitting along with his
Shopify
team, like just
Rebellions,
providing extra
turn to
damage
ban.
and good versus the carry Terrorblade. But then also, he's a pretty safe mid laner, especially now that he's got the leap. He used to be very weak to ganks, but the jump makes him a little bit safer, and then you can just like last hit with Q while harassing. There's
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not fully sure who you could pick to totally shut down that lane, right? But later on, I mean, you could shut him down by gap closing, getting him killed. But at the lane itself, you should at least be able to survive.
Medusa, Lina
thought that
bands.
last
I
time
actually
with the
like those a
Pango,
lot. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it has to be Puck Storm Spirit. Those are the two main heroes you're worried about playing as a Zeus. You could also potentially
10
worry about a
seconds
Coddle pick
remaining.
here, which I know Yopaj plays, and it's a pretty good Coddle game.
5
So
seconds
we'll have to
remaining.
see. They banned the Kunkka. Okay. I guess Kunkka easier to execute. Doesn't really, doesn't really lose many lanes at all, and is very annoying when he gets his timings.
Yeah, I think he could. If you ran a mid, for example, I think you could definitely survive through the Zeus lane. I'm wondering if they're
remaining.
thinking of picking something here weak to Kunkka, maybe a mobile hero.
5 seconds remaining.
Although I don't know, there's already a line in Crystal Maiden, even like a Doom.
Could go Weaver maybe. But I'm trying to think like
We did
heroes that
see
are
that-
actually strong against Terrorblade. The biggest one to me is Phantom Lancer. But you're picking Phantom Lancer into an unknown mid, which you could just go like Leshrac or something,
Yeah.
or Ember. Like both are really good, and both actually fit their draft really well. So I don't know if you can go for a Phantom Lancer here.
Maybe you. Hey, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm like looking
Or
at
you run
the.
Marcy Core. I don't know.
I suppose that's a possibility.
Shopify
I'm
Rebellions,
not super
turn
familiar with it
Phantom
nowadays, so.
Assassin.
Okay, gonna go with the PA. We have seen Revenant's Brooch kind of become the norm
You
to
may now
build.
select your
to-
hero.
I'm so sick of this pain.
That could be a counter to Terrorblade, but I don't really know if you'll get to that point. And we've got this Yopaj Pangolier. He's not gonna get shut down by a Zeus, and he's gonna come online pretty early to prevent that Revenant's Brooch timing.
I am so convinced at this point that there's some conspiracy at the pro scene when it comes to Pangolier, where it's like even if he's not good, there's just a rule where he must be picked or banned in like 85% of games. Like even if this hero loses and he has like a 5% win rate, he's gonna be picked in every freaking game regardless. Like I am so sick of Pangolier. I'll be honest. That's my rant. I'm so done with this hero. It has been so good since it's been released. I just want like the mid pool to have some variety.
Yeah, you're not alone in that. Well, he started off unpopular, I suppose. I think Ice was the first person to like really bring him into the professional scene as an off lane, and then there's like a support phase, and then you're right. It's been mid for quite a while, and it's the nerfs are just too little every time. I don't know if they don't want to kill the hero because someone loves playing it on the balance team, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing just a heavy-handed nerf, get him out of the meta for a little bit, and then bring him back, maybe a little later on. But yeah, he's just always here, man.
I feel like he might be the most picked hero in the competitive scene ever since his release. Like I honestly don't think there's a single hero that has been consistently picked banned as much as Penguin in the last like 3 years. It's
would be
actually
interesting.
ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe go like look in the last year or something and see like what the total picks are. That could be interesting. But
It
anyways,
used
we're gonna
to
get
be
into the
Io,
game here.
right?
Oh yeah, Io is definitely up there. Got a game here. Double smokes. See if we find a first blood. Because some quick kills
boy.
can. Ooh! That
That
observer is gonna
ward,
catch the Crystal
Did
Maiden.
see Kitrak, yeah. So very
She's trying to
nice
stay
ward
back,
there.
but yeah, that ward's gonna spot her. Unlikely to see a kill now, unless they want to fight into the high ground. But I'm not
There's no
sure
way.
if they're
30 seconds to
stronger.
Not into a Crystal
Yeah,
Maiden. No way.
yeah, I don't think you should do this.
You get
With
like
maybe just posturing to
War
break any
Hero.
smokes coming in further.
Yeah, you get like Crystal Nova blood grenaded into an immediate Earth Spike. You even probably
Yes.
can go Reflection on Terrorblade. Like you have Scorched Earth on Doom. Like it would just
Mhm.
be so bad.
Yeah.
They are going for a potential D ward here. I think Henry
The battle
and Rises know
begins.
there's a ward there, so they actually just decide to back away.
They're going to try to cut him off. But again, this should be spotted all by the observer. So I wonder if they'll have a rough idea that they've been spotted, but I don't think they'll want to spend a sentry on a random guess. Because there's a couple
Yeah.
places you could have put the observer. Let's see if they'll do it. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're walking away.
I keep seeing these like what looks like an Aurora Borealis, like following the Crystal Maiden persona. Has that always been there, or is that just like some effect he has?
I think that's the persona.
Weird. I literally never knew that existed. That's cool looking. Well, into the lanes we go. Zeus in mid versus the Pangolier, which Zeus actually fairly strong the first few levels. He has a ton of damage now. Huge deviation from the old days of Zeus having like literally 30 damage. So that was
Yeah.
some nice quality of life changes for this hero. But
I remember
Tango
seeing
kind of
that
evens
buff.
it up.
He got so much damage. Everyone was like, what in the world?
Yeah, I think it was the single highest damage buff in Dota for a hero in one patch.
It's his cosmetic. He's ripped in his cosmetic.
Dude, he's jacked, man. He's a god. Look
yeah,
at this
that's
guy.
why you gotta give him some base damage. It just made sense.
An eternity of lifting in the gym, getting swole, dude. I mean, come on. We have, you know, X amount of years. Zeus, nonsense.
A well-earned gain. Reflection and meta being committed here on the Mars tower.
7
One
stick
more?
charges, though. They're going to just turn for Thana. I was like, he's holding the blood grenade, but a really cool play there from Kitrak, not overcommitting onto the Mars, seeing that he had the stick charges. And instead, it just sets up for a kill onto the Hoodwinks. They still manage to grab themselves first blood. A little bit of duration left on this Metamorphosis, so should be able to just CS deny. Meanwhile, top lane, they find themselves a kill onto Henry. And, well, Doom gets Chain Lightning. You know, sometimes you get unlucky.
Oh no, bringing back flashbacks to Rise is getting killed by random chain lightning last game. Well, I guess it wasn't random, but it's getting close, man.
It's,
He's got a
he gets
lion
down.
too. Usually the weakness to chain lightning is it's a, you know, it burns through Doom's mana pool, which he's not, you know, he doesn't have the most, but he actually has 2 mangoes and a lion in his lane. This is not gonna stop. Oh, this is disgusting, actually.
Saberlight,
please.
bro, chill. Let him go. He's not gonna let him go, man. He has to pop his stick now. He's pinging his line like, give me the Lotus.
He definitely got 2 points in mana drain for this. Like, if he was even thinking about not doing it, oh my god, look at this. The lightning continue. He sees a Zeus on the enemy team. This is Zeus at home right here, but I think it's
Dude,
actually
no,
better.
Zeus is Zeus at home, man. This isn't even remotely close. Rises has been nowhere near a creep wave.
This is now the most interesting lane. We don't even care about the others.
I literally don't. He sent 2 salves out now to try and keep Rises in this lane.
Yeah, you've got to, right? Marcy doesn't have sidekick yet either to at least get a little bit of regen for all of this. Not that it would be enough with this endless chain lightning spam, who he also has a Crystal Maiden, by the
I
way.
was
I forgot
just
to say.
about to mention that. I was like, you also have CM aura now, so... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is nice.
Bottom
This is
lane, a
good
little
stuff.
bit of aggression. Thana, last auto
Okay.
attack, gonna take him down. And
Oh,
Monster
Frostbite?
trying to get a
Oh!
trade.
Right in the
Frostbite would have
turn
led
lane.
to the kill, I think.
Yeah. Well, he has a Lotus. It would have been close, but yeah, it's like you would have at least stayed alive on the Crystal Maiden there. Either way, RTZ still having plenty of time, or he's having a great time in the bottom lane. Like he's not under any pressure at the moment, and 14 wand charges. He's got treads coming out on, by courier I mean on Kitrak, which is basically a courier.
Practically, the persona even looks like one.
Yeah, I think that's why they made it. To be honest, they're like, yeah, I mean, She's got the movement speed of a courier. She might as well role play a little bit more.
Throwing out the meta. Thana just
He's
came
just
back.
gonna dive this. Oh, TP
Ooh,
coming
Zeus
in from
or
the
Bart.
Marcy. He has to get very far away because that dispose could have pulled him into the tower range. Rebound off the mark. He's got 20 stick charges. Does he get them off though? He does not. Arteezy baiting himself there, it seems, is now Kitrak on the run. Going to be able to get brought down by Thana as well. So, yeah, he had Fairy Fire and like 21 charges and Strength Charge to play around. But
Rise
top
is
lane.
going to be feeling that one. Chain Lightning to death again. Thought he escaped it after game 1.
No. Dude, I mean, this is actually so much like mental damage being dealt because he's doing this mid lane. Nice kill there onto the Pango. Got a little bit too aggressive as Henry rotates in on the Marcy. He's like getting PTSD flashbacks now from game 1. You know, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna go farm this wave and just get zapped, and every single time it's like mind playing him.
Gonna commit blur just to like look at creeps. But he's
Well,
immediately gonna get run down. I don't think he'll die, but it's gonna definitely pay with
You don't think
half his
Saberlight's
health.
gonna dive this?
Maybe he
I
will
think he
die.
will.
I guess there were rotations done earlier, right? So he's not too worried about Rise is getting any
Hero's
help here.
He's super Bro, I was like, he just got level 5, and I thought he was gonna put a 3rd point in Scorched Earth, but he had already popped it, so I ended up just leveling up the Devour, I guess. Yeah, whatever, like, I don't need it. Rotation top lane here from Alone. They should be able to grab Thelacore here, as Zeus has plenty of damage, even commits the Thunder God's Wrath. Track does find Thana here, just drops the whole kit on him, and Arteezy walks up with an illusion. Thank you, sir, giving me the kill.
Wisdom
They're
Rune's
looking
coming
bottom
up here.
Yeah, this is a really sick rotation. Being able to take down Monster before the Wisdom Rune spawns would be massive, and they are going to be able to get the kill here, but an immediate TP in from Henley. He knows, he's like, I got to go get the Wisdom, guys. I have some more important things. TP in from Alone, though. Sunder up from Arteezy, gets level 6, just throws it onto the Zeus. He's out of mana, but now gets bushwhacked under the tower. He needs help. Raindrops keeping him alive. But Dana wants to chase. Kitrak with nice Frostbite as a wraparound. He manages to finish off the Zeus, and now Yopaj looking to finish off Thana. Can't do it. Kitrak behind the tower here. Not likely to survive. Yeah, gets taken down by a very good Acorn shot. So a lot of aggression bottom. As Mars is coming in, they're still not done. They managed to find the kill, but Arteezy, he gets out on a sliver of HP. Monster unable to finish the job.
In the meantime, Saberlight has chased Rises to the mid lane.
Dire's middle
This-
tower is under attack.
Commits the Doom and the lightning.
Thelacore's gonna live here. He has raindrops and 18 wand charges, and now Kitrak, he's just trying to figure out which hero they want to kill, and it looks like it's gonna be Marcy. She's got no mana left. Easy follow-up here with the Hex from the Lion, and yeah. No tip though. I'm surprising. I expected that out of Arteezy.
Gonna let the gameplay do the talking for now, it seems. Or he knows he's got a limited amount of tips. You know, he's got to choose the right time.
That's true. That might be why. 12-6, a 4,000 gold lead here for Shopify. Honestly, not as bad as it was in game 1, but that's not necessarily a good benchmark if you're La Corentada.
That's true. And there's still a few more minutes to go, too. More kills happening this game. I'm trying to decide if that helps them at all. I mean, they're dying more, but when you get more return kills on enemy heroes who are more farmed, I mean, you're also getting some more money back. I think Rises is really struggling this time, though. Last time he was a Luna who could at least jungle decently. This
Radiant
time,
are scanning.
yeah, PA, not really known to be
I
a
saw the
fast
TP.
farmer.
They know he's here. It's only a matter of time. He runs into Thelacore, and Saberlight,
He changed
Gets
his,
himself
he
another
changed
kill?
his ability.
yeah, he doesn't need the mana anymore. He just wants pack leader aura. He wants to kill
Dire's
things.
structures are fortified. Dire's top tower
He's
is
done
under
mentally
attack.
destroying Rises.
Radiant's bottom
More
Moved
points
on.
in
is
Scorched
under
Earth now.
attack.
Oh, Yopaj happens to just walk into Alone here on the top side of the map.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So, I was gonna say, yeah, technically you have more kills this time, but the downside is your Phantom Assassin is about the same net worth as the position 5 Crystal Maiden at 10 minutes into the game. Now she's actually behind because she just got a D ward. So you are now behind the position 5 Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, that Revenant's Brute is gonna be quite a while away.
I mean, I don't think that's Revenant's Brooch is happening at all. They do manage to find a lone, nice freezing field follow-up. They're like, I don't even need to go in on this Pangolier instead. Rolling Thunder committed onto the Marcy. And Henry, no chance of getting out of that one. Beautiful use of that Rolling Thunder. Good use of the ultimate rotations from these supports, right? They come mid, the two of them just instantly kill the Zeus.
Precious bounty.
Yeah, Zeus, he's kind of big for their plans here because he's probably doing the best on his team, closing in on that phylactery. Maybe if they can find some kills around that, they can try to get back into this, but they're 7k behind here at 10.5 minutes. It's looking really rough.
Calm down.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what their like game plan back into this is. Like, it's definitely going to be playing around the Zeus phylactery timing, but the Zeus phylactery timing is going to come out behind Doom having Veil and Blink. You do have Mars with a Blink. Oh no, those are just phase boots. Okay, that is his Blink is very far away. So that's not even going to be remotely close. I'm trying to figure out what item timing can you actually start doing something, but they find Rises here, and he's gonna pop the blur, but guess what, Thelicore, you knew exactly where you're going. Stun is out. Do they even need the blood grenade? Nope, not anymore. There's a Doom here. Does get the jump away. Wait a minute, are they out? An arena monster? Can they punish this? Doom is super tanky. Thana channeling the sharpshooter does connect, and he's like, I'm just gonna TP you guys. Oh, the raindrops! No way!
Throw out the tip.
Dude, that feels
man, they need that
so
badly.
Dire's middle tower.
He's top net worth. It would have been a lot of money. That is very painful.
Radiant's courier has been
Nice
killed.
courier from Monster. Spear can't connect, can't get the angle. Hoodwink trying to cut him off here. They're like, we gotta get something, guys. This is getting rough. Thana into the tree. Should be able to scout through the core here, and does. Nice bushwhack. Meanwhile, Zeus dying in the mid lane. So, I mean, if you're Shopify, that's what you type worth. You know, it's just cool. You got our Lion, but it's cost you another Zeus kill set up on the back of Pango's Rolling Thunder and that Diffusal.
Yeah, but that lion kill was actually worth more, so maybe it is worth for La Correntada.
Holy heck, it was. Well, two towers going down at the same time here, mid and bottom.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
There's a little bit what we saw last game, where Shopify picked up a pretty early lead, this time even stronger than last time. I think their ability to just run down towers is worse than last game, since last time they had the Chen, but they should have just map control of like anywhere we go, we can get kills. There's a Zeus to help with de-warding, so we might be able to get a little bit of space there. He has an amplified damage rune and the phylactery. If they can find some kills around it, it would help a lot. Unfortunately, they're being killed.
Nice little play there, holding the high ground here, just kind of waiting for someone to walk up. Meanwhile, through the core, he's got his eyes set on Monster. Saberlight blinks on in, Scorched to Earth, plus the Doom now committed. This hero's dead. There's no escape. You can't really save him, Henry, but he's going to make an attempt here to go for the line. He does have a Hex to play around, but alone with an amplified damage rune should finish the job. A swashbuckle from Yopaj managed to find the kill, and it looks like he's going to set his sights on this Marcy instead. So Henry, he'll see what he can do here to dodge this one out, but not looking good for him. Yeah, Diffusal, pretty darn good. It is always shot. Oh my god. Did he actually just get this kill? He did. Okay, this is another one where RTZ just walks in an illusion and takes a kill from Kitrak.
Thank you, Kitrak. That is exactly what you needed to do for me.
Thunder God's Wrath here, committed. Yopaj, I don't think really all that intimidated, but alone will get the kill thanks to the Arcane Rune.
800
Very
gold.
Excuse me, it says 799.
Radiant's
My
middle
bad, my
tower
bad.
is under attack.
All of those small numbers add up.
But yeah, I mean, that's a really nice kill. I was a little bit surprised too. I thought Pango was gonna get out of there, but the level 4 Lightning Bolt with that phylactery coming off cooldown even faster thanks to the
Dire's
Arcane
top
Rune,
tower is
pretty
under
good.
attack.
It's pretty good. He really only needed that one swashbuckle, honestly, and he would have the full mana burn onto the Zeus, and I think Zeus would die. But
Dire are scanning.
yeah, huge plays there from Alone. We'll see if he can continue to stay active, as he kind of needs to, right? He needs to start finding kills. They're going to be able to find the Marcy instead, as Thelacor is going to grab his
Radiant's
second
bottom
stack
tower
for his
is
Finger of
under
Death.
attack.
Thana makes his way into the tower. He's going to be fine.
Has been killed.
Doom is just waiting to see rises here.
Gonna break the smoke.
Oh, gosh. The Trapper?
The
Dude, no
neutrals.
way.
Well, he
Saberlight
didn't have
should just...
Doom.
Yeah.
Maybe he's waiting for that.
Well, that's another kill off the Crystal Maiden, committing the Freezing Field to the Mars. He's getting close to his Blink Dagger, right? We talked about it was a little bit farther away. He's about 40 gold, which at that point, maybe we can see some kills come out from this like Mars Arena combo. You need the Hoodwink and the Zeus to follow it up, though, so it's going to most likely need to be like a full team smoke rotation. For now, though, it's looking rough. Saberlight gets the Doom out onto the Zeus, pops the Scorched Earth. Can they actually find the kill? It doesn't look like it. Zeus should be able to get away here. Henry, though, going to sacrifice himself. And yeah, Zeus makes it back to base, no problem.
Go Lightning Hands on Zeus. If he gets that, could help delay the game, send the illusions out. I think they definitely have to plan for the late game.
Yeah, I like to call it the Spicy Fingers. I think that's a much better name. I think they should rename the ability, but you know, it's
like
okay.
Zeus just ate some hot wings and he hasn't washed his hands yet.
Yeah.
Going out fighting, is that what that is?
Yeah, he's like cooking some dinner, add some jalapeno to it, and like, you know, forgets to wash his hands, and they have just spicy fingers, you know. There's the blink reveal from Monster, a much more important topic here is to get on top of Saberlight, but the damage not quite there yet. Team rotating in, and they managed to get the job. Okay, so they do get a good usage of this first blink reveal from the Mars, and taking down Doom, really strong.
Yeah, that was to be exact, 1,334 gold for them.
Yeah, he did the math.
That's a massive amount.
Finger
kill? Worth it. He got the
confirmed.
stack, I
We
think.
got him, boys. Okay, get a little lost in the sauce, dude. Yeah, you get a little lost here.
This is too hard.
It's gonna cost you the Mars. Dude, this Pango is actually just doing a ridiculous amount of damage at this point, but yeah, they get a little bit overconfident in the mid lane. Zeus still does a lot of damage. He's got his Kaya, he's got a Fairy's Trinket to boot as well. That Lightning Bolt with Phylactery is doing close to like 550 damage, or maybe even more. Yeah, it's doing like almost 600 damage. So, yeah, you gotta be careful about that one.
Yeah, Zeus is the saving grace, and he might be about to be killed here. You're gonna find him, commit the Doom, Frostbite. Do we need anything else? Probably not.
You don't even.
They're just
bother.
gonna walk away.
You're like, all right, sights set on a new target here, boys. Yeah, it's a good turnaround, right? So you're finding some glimmers of hope. A lot of gold off these kills, right? Like you said, the kill onto the Terrorblade alone was worth over 1,000. It's almost 1,100 gold. So that's a lot. But you are still very far behind. 12,000 gold advantage still for Shopify here. Arteezy does have his BKB, looking for his Scotty next. And you're not slowing down Yopaj.
He's literally just walking into the enemy's base. He just shows him the tier 2 wave. He does not care.
I don't know what they can do to him. Like, now that he has BKB, it's like it would have to be an arena spear into the burst damage from the Zeus, timed with like Also a rebound and dispose stun.
Waiting by the tier 2. What is going on here?
Just
Dire's
lane
middle
cutting with
tower is
illusions.
under attack.
Good stuff. He's
Yeah.
actually pinging out rises. He's like, I can kill you, Bo.
Let's dive tier 3, guys.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He's
Radiant's
walking out and they're
structures
like,
are fortified.
more illusions. Like, wait, that one's real. That's the back
they
away.
actually?
In comes Yopaj. They might just go for the dive. Good jump away for the moment. Rolling Thunder. Yopaj, he's not going to use it. Use the roll up. They just back away.
Dire's
meta
top
committed,
tower
they should get the
is
tier
under
2.
attack.
I mean, they're
Dire's
feeling it.
structures are
They're
fortified.
planning to dive the tier 3. The tier 2's here, like, open for the... Like, no, guys, look at the tier 3. Kittrack just gonna
Dire's
ult
top tower
some
is under
creep
attack.
camps. They're having a good time on Shopify,
Dire's
being
top
14,000
tower is
gold up
fallen.
at 20 minutes.
Radiant's
definitely
bottom
feeling good.
tower is under attack.
This is
Maybe
like,
they're gonna poke at this high ground a little bit here, too, now.
They have double BKB. I think you can.
Dire's
I mean,
top tower
this is like training your opponent's status.
They're
They just
in.
jump right in. They drop everything onto the Zeus. He's trying to get out. Try not to have to commit Doom. It's on cooldown for a couple of seconds. Arteezy will sunder up Pender. He tries to finish the job, and he does. Rises will come through. Needs to be careful. Doom just gets dumped onto the Mars. He's like, good luck getting back to the base. Yopaj rolls on by.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna
off
die
that.
out right outside his fountain.
Oh, that's a dieback. A really fast dieback. Shopify says, we don't really care if you think this is your base. That is a big crit from the Doom as well. A Dagon? Come on, Saberlight. All right.
The
Yep,
Dagon
well,
broke them.
the Dagon broke him. That's a
Radiant's
mental
bottom
breaking
tower
point
is
for
under
sure.
attack. Radiant's
He started the game by zapping the enemy
Yeah.
carries, and he ends the game by zapping the enemy carries. It comes full circle here.
He had the mental war. Oh, is that why they picked Doom, do you think, in the draft? When we were like, oh, I don't fully know why he picked Doom. He's like, guys, I'm gonna break their mentality. I've got this.
It could be, man. It's like Saberlight is also just so good on Doom, and it just ends up working out that way. You see the heartbeat creep there, and you're like, in most Doom games, you're like, oh yeah, I'll take the heartbeat. But in this game, it is so much more powerful combined with the fact that you have a Crystal Maiden aura and a Lion to just sit there dumping mana into you for the whole lane. The fact that Rises was literally 9th on net worth at like the 11 or 12 minute mark is not a good sign.
It was pretty rough for him. This is a little bit what we expected from Shopify Rebellion, though, right? Crush the laning stage. Game 1 wasn't even as bad as I thought it would be, which is saying something. Like, I thought it would be even worse. It was like a 4K gold advantage at 10 minutes. This time, I think it's like they bumped it up to 7. But they're such a good team that once you fall behind like this, it's so hard to make a play to come back. The Zeus was a good focal point for them. They tried. They found a couple kills, but just not quite enough to get back into this.
So I got a question for you. Don't look at it yet. If you had to
Okay.
guess how much hero damage the Phantom Assassin was able to do this game, and I want you to like, I'm not saying this as a flame to rise. This is just like how overwhelming Shopify's pressure was.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a number, what you think it's gonna be. And
I thought you were going to ask me about the
say-
storm lightning damage.
I would say it's just as low of a number as you think it's gonna be.
I think it's less than 1,000. I'm gonna go 700 and actually 724.
Honestly, not that far off. It is over 1,000.
no!
It is over 1,000. I think our production's gonna reveal this one. 1,635 damage out of the PA this game, and this is just one of those things that like
Ouch.
it all starts from the chain lightning in the lane. It literally does. Like the game starts this way.
Next one for you. Did chain lightning do more damage than PA?
Oh, I think it probably did, dude. Chain lightning did 3,100 damage this game. Yes.
Chain lightning was twice as valuable.
Yeah, the chain lightning to PA alone was 2,500 damage. So
Oh, that's brutal.
as much as we're like memeing about how unbelievably like powerful that ability can be in the right lane, like
It
it's
is.
not a joke. It literally ruined La Correntada's game.
Yeah. And again, not a flame on the PA at all, guys. And I've seen it in pubs too, where like my carry has no damage. Listen, it's the carry's job. They farm. They have to do that, right? And that means you don't do a lot of hero damage. And when the game falls apart, it's what happens. So it's not a flame at all to the PA. It was a very rough game, as well as the unluckiness to run into the chain lightning there. But it just wrecked his laning stage, and he just had to spend the rest of the time trying to catch up, and just never didn't have the space. Just kept getting run down.
Yeah, I mean, you have a Pango that is incredibly strong in almost every lane. Rolling Thunder is just a ridiculous spell that you cannot avoid. And at some point, your map just doesn't exist. And he's like trying to farm the corner of the map in like hard camps. And then a smoked lion and Crystal Maiden are like walking by, like, oh, let's see what we find. And it's just like
Yeah.
instantly dead because they have 2,000 magic damage between them. It's like
Mhm.
there's nowhere safe for any of these heroes. And it's a really slick draft from Shopify all around. But yeah, just kind of an overwhelming presence from them this game.
Yeah. Great performance by them. I think maybe also a little bit expected for a lot of viewers. They are one of the favorites of this region, and probably even over Nouns right now, because Nouns has a new mid player. They still have to get used to that. Shopify Rebellion, same team, plus the international experience. They got to go to 2 international tournaments relatively recently, so probably the favorites going for this, but we'll have to see. They got to move on to the rest of the qualifiers now.
Yeah. And speaking of the rest of the qualifiers, we're going to have a pretty lengthy break here, if I'm not mistaken, before we go into our next series, which for you and me, I believe we are doing Nouns versus SOS team. I believe it is Nouns versus SOS team. I'll have to double check as we have some of the schedules laid out. But yeah, that one I believe is like 2 hours away because this series ended so fast. So I think we're going to be going to a break since this is set at scheduled times. We're not doing rolling schedules we've kind of been doing this like with the ESL or the EFG tournaments have all been set schedules. So if you're not familiar with that, we will be coming back for Nouns versus SOS team in about 2 hours and 27 minutes. So it is a little bit of a break, I would say. So if you want to keep watching some Dota action, there is another stream that has some more of the North American qualifiers on it. I believe there is still, I think Namiga is playing on another stream as well. So there's a ton of stuff happening. Check out all the various streams, everybody. Make sure to follow your favorite teams here through DreamLeague Season 23. But for now, we are going to go to a break, and we'll be back with our second series of the day, which is going to be a little while. So stay tuned. Enjoy your break. We'll see you in a bit.